It's interesting to me because if you go to Thessalonians, it says, Paul wrote to the Thessalonians, "Wherefore we would have come unto you, even I, Paul, once and again, but Satan hindered us." It says, "Finally, brethren, pray for us that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men." So, that's 1 Thessalonians 2:18, 3, 1 and 2. So, we see how the devil was holding back. We've seen how the devil was holding back, fighting an angel of God. I mean, we see how he's involved in this stuff. And why is he not involved in this? Because it goes back to what Alan was saying. All right, if he gets rid of Daniel and his buddies.
But Daniel's one of the favorites of God. I mean, because God was talking to Daniel all the time, so if Satan gets rid of him, who's going to interpret to the people what God's saying?
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Satan is a sneaky rascal, isn't he? So we see him right in the midst. I mean, really, you look at that and you go, yeah, he's in the midst of this thing. He is manipulating the situation. And this is what's so tricky. When we evaluate things, do we consider the possibility that what's taking place, Satan is manipulating a little bit? Oh, yeah, maybe he is. Maybe, some of the things that's going on in our culture right now, Satan's manipulating a little bit. Maybe he's trying to he's seeking us out. I mean, right now, let me ask you a question. If I go out, let's say I call up the state government, and I don't know that this will happen, I'm just pretending here. But what if I, as a Christian, call up and say, I want to bring you some copies of the Bible, and I want to distribute it to the members of the government so that they can be better informed about Christianity and what it's all about. And I would also like to have just a few minutes to speak about Allah to them. Now, if we take that and we turn that into, or not Allah, but to Jesus Christ. So I'm gonna bring Bibles and I'm gonna give them out, and we're gonna talk about Jesus Christ. What do you think the chances of that happening right now?
I don't know.
None, right?
They would throw the separation of church and state at you, and then, on the other hand, when the Muslim problem comes up, they make a room for them to worship in and buy them mats if they want them.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to offend them.
Right. Yeah, and this is what happened after the Cairo speech in, I think it was June 4th. One of the American Islamic leagues or groups got together, and they are producing over 100,000 copies of the Quran to distribute to leaders across the United States. And our congressmen, senators are praising them, even saying that yes, they need to have the opportunity to talk about their religion to us and educate us on it. We have a double standard taking place, and right now we see the elevation of other religions well above that of the Christian religion. So we see something not very much different than what we see here with what's taking place, with why they're seeking out Daniel. We've had it. Do you think we're going to face persecution in this country?
Sure.
Yes.
As Christians?
Yes.
Okay.
We live long enough.
So why do we think that's happening? I mean, do you feel that the United States is a world power?
No.
We're a long nation turned away from God.
Yeah. We're not a world power, and we know that when you start to pull God out of your culture, out of your government, out of your leadership, then God will what? What did He do with the Israelites? He let them, and He said, okay, I'm going to let you have it. Here's what you want, you can have it. And we're doing the same thing. We sit down, I think it was Billy Graham's daughter, that right after the 9/11 thing, she says, well, here we are as a country. We're telling God to back out, get away from us, leave us alone, let me do what I want to do, and then something like this happens. Well, what do you expect? You want Him out of your life. You want Him out of everything you do, and why would you expect to be blessed? And so the manipulation is taking place, and we see how even here we see the possibility of Satan manipulating things to bring about a desired result, which is to take out the folks that have the most impact on the culture. We as Christians we're basically out of the game. Alright, so let's look at the next, the decision of Daniel 2:14 through 23. It says Daniel was faced with an important decision. His decision showed the marks of a man of God. It says he exercised prudence. So it says, then Daniel answered with counsel, with wisdom and knowledge, to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, which was gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said to Arioch, the king's captain, why is the decree so hasty from the king? Then Arioch made the thing known to Daniel. Then Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would give him time, and that he would show the king the interpretation. And that's 14 through 16. So we see again, we talked about this. He's a kid. But how does he respond to this life and death situation? Well, what in the world? What's the hurry? Let's go in, talk to the king, see if we can't get some time. So again, it says Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom. So again, he displays this uncanny ability, this tactfulness, this gentleness, discreet. It's really amazing. It says Daniel must have won that. And when you speak to somebody like this, you naturally, what happens? You win them over to your side because you're showing them respect. You're giving them a position, and you're humbling yourself beneath them. And so he's building up this relationship with him. And so apparently the king was still wanting to know what this dream was about. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone on and given him some time. So apparently the king was very serious about learning what this dream was about. So he gave them a stay of execution. And again, we see that it says, then Daniel went to his house and made the thing known to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his companions, that they would desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. That's 17 through 19. So Daniel proceeded at once to call in his buddies and say, folks, we got to go to God right now in prayer. And Daniel is desiring mercies, the mercies of God. These men saw, where was all of their emphasis? Was it on themselves or was it on God?
It was on God.
It was on God. They were totally focused. They knew where to turn to. They knew in the midst of this situation exactly what they needed to do and seek His mercies. Alright, and we see this. So the prayer is essential to understanding spiritual truth. It says the secrets of God are not revealed to those who do not know Him and pray to Him. He Himself said, call unto me and I will answer thee. Show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. Jeremiah 33:3. Daniel took his words to God in prayer. If you are a Christian, where do you take your worries? Who do you give them to? Take it to God in prayer. So, Psalms 37:5, Philippians 4:6-7, Hebrews 13:5, James 1:5, 1 Peter 5:7. If you want to follow up with that line of thought. But that's the thing. Where do we go? What do we do? What do we say? Are we in touch? Are we seeking something that we're looking in all the wrong places? These guys went directly to God, seeking His mercies.